Okay, someone's display is not coming up completely right here at the moment. We'll worry about that after. Angle. Anyway. G'day, this is the command module GB590. And Electrophone put these out. We sold heaps of these back in Adelaide at Jensen Electronics. This has got a TX470S in it, which was the perfect fit. And of course, you could also put the HF CB version in there for 27 megs. So it was pretty much a dual thing. You can also have them sort of set up, you know, two modules, one next to each other, one with 27, one with UHF 40. Always used to look very impressive. But what's very impressive about this one, normally we get them where the cases are really shoddy. This is original case, and a couple little marks, but honestly, it is really, really clean. And a couple little things we've got to do to this one. It's from a deceased estate, so it's one of those things where we bought it off the internet on Facebook Marketplace, which was a chap that didn't have any idea what sort of it was, and he actually said that we were offering way above what everybody else was, and I said, well, look, it's because we can take a bit more of a chance, and in the end, I paid fair money for it, but a good GB590 in this sort of condition, you just can't find them, and it's instead of playing games on price, I always believe just pay the right money and you get the right item. Probably going to have to do a clock module in here. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a problem now. It's actually not flickering like you're seeing there. That's actually my shutter speed, but it does have a digit here that's wrong. And they used an LM8360 from memory, and I might even have a chip left. We used to buy those in because they were very common that the clock module chip would go, and they had multiple, if you can imagine, data lines out. So you basically had like a loom that did this digit, another loom did this digit, another loom did this, and the other one sort of fed voltage, etc. So to cover the 4-digit display. And sorry, the other thing it did too, it controlled the AM, PM, which you're not seeing come up there. But anyway, that's quite minor. The other thing we'll do with this, very typical Electrophone microphone. So it's in great condition, except for 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh, it's working now, isn't it? 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. Okay. What do we got? Let's have a look. On the bird meter, we're on the middle scale, no, top scale, showing 4 watts output. So that's about right for that. And actually, the mic was a bit intermittent before, but hang on, see if I can make it intermittent. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Anyway, they used to go at this point here, just where my finger is there. So you would actually just sometimes, obviously the best bet, if you see a cord that's a little bit sort of lengthened like this, being used a bit. Sometimes, if this was really good, sometimes we'd just actually sort of bring that up here a bit, so you take that sort of length out of it. A little bit terrible, because then you lose that little bit of, you have the coil sitting against your hand there, and it does get a bit annoying. So we'll just chuck a new cord on that one. And yeah, didn't want to fault then. Anyway, good little receiver, these things. Let's put a bit of signal into it. My dying screen again. See, that's 0.05 a microvolt there, so that's receiving extremely well. And then we're just going to put bit more into it, and as you can see with the old digital meters they had on back in the day, and yeah, I'm putting loads in it now and then taking it back. Just want to see how far I can take that down. That's minus 120 dBm on my dying screen there, and it's just breaking the squelch there. I'll take the squelch off, and pretty noisy there at minus 120, but at 0.5 a microvolt, sorry, 0.5, not 0.05, 0.5 a microvolt, we're breaking the squelch, and as you'll see, beautiful. Yep, no hysteresis there. Beautiful, actually. That's really good. Yeah. So look, these were great little sort of setups for. We used to sell them to everything from truck stops to people just wanted to have them sitting side by side. We probably sold more as UHF application because, of course, we had so many businesses at the time back in Adelaide who were running the UHF system, so they would, they'd literally sit on a channel somewhere, whatever channel it was, and they'd just sit there all day talking to their various cars that were running around the place. And UHF was really quite commercial for a while there. It was actually a lot of people using radio for their commercial purposes. Of course, channel 40 was always your truck channel. Now this, being a 470S, it did have the duplex in there, so basically when you transmit, then you're transmitting on channel 31, and Unlike some of the radios, they don't actually show you the mechanics of going to channel 31. It's just basically, you know, you're there. Electrophone released a whole lot of cell call boards as well, and so you could have selective calling on them as well. And that was a popular feature too, you know, just to be able to have the radios muted completely from any other traffic until your particular person came along that would beep you, and, you know, with the 5-tone cell calls, etc. And you hear the bleep, you know, bleeps and on the band. And but yeah, I reckon I've got. I was just thinking about the chips. I've also reckon I've got one of these. It's pretty nasty. That's got a good clock board. So if I want to be really, really, you know, like save myself some time, I'll just, you know, swap over the clock board, and that'll. But this will be an absolute pristine example though, because it really is. As I said, normally, you know, the tops have suffered, and when the chap sent me photos of it, I've got to be honest, I thought this top was a lot worse than what it was. What it was, he had a plate here, I've thrown it in the bin now, that was glued on here, and I've been able to take all the glue off and clean that nicely. And it just had a bit of dust on it. And he did say to me, look, I think what you're interpreting is, you know, the cover was so bad was more that the you know, needs a good clean. And I took his word for it and paid a bit more based on that. And look, not... and I've got to be honest, I said to him, there's a very good chance this will have a VCO fault. We had so many VCO PLL faults on 470s, and it didn't bother me because I said, look, you know, we've got so many 470s sitting around the place if we needed one. Or, you know, I could put the CB version for 27 megs in there too. I'm sort of thinking we might... I've got about 4 or 5 of these, and we've got to get rid of some of them, don't get me wrong, but I want to keep sort of a couple for myself, excuse me, that have got maybe one 27, one 470 meg, 476 meg unit in it. So yeah, we'll see how that all goes. But they were a really nice unit. I just think Electrophone got this one right. Look, I've seen also where people have put the 472s in there. The 472 with the height will fit. Now they're not as wide, so basically people have made up little spaces for each side of it. With the 472, you literally could put anything in there that would be this sort of this height, and obviously not go past the restraints of the width. But I always thought the Electrophones, because I've seen people put other radios in there and they just never match with the gold, you know, that goldy sort of color that they've got there. I'm not sure you call that gold. I'm not sure what you call that. Just, yeah, anyway, sort of goldish, bronzish something. But yeah, they're just a really nice nice finish. And actually, I'll just show you the back as well, because not a lot of people get to see that, but hang on. Now, you could set this up a couple of ways. The way they've set this up at the moment is that some people would have some wires coming right around and coming out the back here. Some just did what's happening here, where they just doubled back, and this here then became tight, but it actually fits okay. I don't mind either way, I think, you know, but what they've done here is they've just done a little extension lead, just so that, you know, you're not having to pull this plate off all the time. If you need to unhook an antenna, you've got a nice fly lead coming off it, so, and that is good. And see the plate on the back of it? Yep, that's pretty much Electrophone GB590, all right? Yeah, look, I mean, we didn't see a lot of these faulty in the day, to be very honest. The power supplies in them worked very well. Even the clock modules, I don't remember doing one. It's only been later years where I've seen clock modules that have had an issue, you know, 30 years later though. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you one of these, because, as I said, you don't see a lot of nice ones. You see, you know, the odd one that's really nasty, but yeah, good to see a nice one. Let's have a look here. It's putting... Go back to channel, where was I on? Channel 40. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, no, beautiful receiver on this. It really is. Should be able to just, yeah, take the squelch out there, about there. Yeah. Okay, let's get rid of that. No, look, this one's a 10 apart from all. Just replace it. I think we'll just put a new cord on this. I've got some brand new cords sitting around the place. Only about a box of 50 of them, so we should be right. It was a very common fault, especially at this end. You know, they took a bit of a beating. And look, I haven't cleaned this mic. Just so you know, I've got probably 30 of these sitting in a box. None of them look like this. They're all secondhand, and they all just got grubby fingerprints all over them. You would think I've actually cleaned this one. You know, no, I haven't. Anyway. All right, well, look, thanks, guys. Look, I'm sorry for the lapse in videos. I had a good few days in bed, and just the ticker give me troubles. For everybody that was so patient over the last few days, thank you. I really appreciate that, and it certainly is something that I am really battling with at the moment, but just we'll get into things as we can, and you'll find we'll do a run of things, and then you'll find, if it goes quiet for a bit, what's happening there. But anyway, I am not dead yet, so that's the main thing. Keep kicking on, and keep having a bit of a play with these things when we can. So anyway, that's the 470S sitting in a GB590. Just trying to remember the model number for the I should know it off my heart, for the HF 27 meg one. Oh, I can see it. Was it a 5 series? 5.3? Oh, yeah, look, no, 560? 560. I reckon it was a 560. I'll correct myself in the notes, but I reckon it was a TX560 or 565. One of those two was the HF version. So, of course, a little bit more complementary with sideband, etc., etc. It's not just an FM radio, and obviously entirely different band. So we might do a video on one of those at some stage, but or maybe when we get the two bases together, we can sort of show you the two and how they look. They really do look like a nice lineup when you've got the two together. Okay, 73's VK3CM. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks for everybody that's been doing that too. We've really noticed lately, and it would help if I'd put up a few more videos, because we go on about the algorithm, but trust me, the algorithm has a lot to do with me actually being a bit more responsive and doing more, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Thanks very much. As VK3CM, all the best. Cheers, guys.